Welcome. Today I will be summarizing, paraphrasing, and sharing for the February 23rd Al-Anon readings in Courage to Change and a little time for myself. We'll begin with a serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Take a minute and look this over. The question of the day is, what can I do, say, or think to keep from isolating from others today? The person who wrote this passage talks about starting Al-Anon when they were 13 and transitioning to Al-Anon when they were 18 and not feeling like there were other men specifically in the program like them who had very many similarities. Finally, this person took the courageous leap and got a sponsor and worked the steps. Over time, this person realized that they weren't alone and there were people who could identify with how this person was feeling. Today's reminder talks about vulnerability and honesty when relating to other people. And that sometimes we can relate on different levels, but we're never alone. And the quote is from Survival to Recovery. We have a common humanity, even though we're all different, we have a common humanity. So what can I do, say, or think to keep from isolating from others today? The big thing for me to keep from isolating is to understand, and this is a common thread for me, you're probably not going to be surprised, is that I am just as worthy of anyone else to say what I'm thinking or feeling. So for me, it's all about humility, self-worth, not berating myself, belittling myself, letting my thoughts of not being as valuable as anybody else get to me, because those are not real. It's so funny. I'm reading this book. I should have brought it. I should have brought it downstairs so I could. It's written by, I think her name is Anita Moorjani. The book is about empaths and how highly sensitive people can have power, like not like power, but like authentic power, in other words, to be themselves and live their lives and shine their love and their light, feeling whole and secure. So, I don't know. I've taken empath quizzes before, and I always score like, on every quiz it says, yes, you're definitely an empath. But then I read like the descriptive, like the characteristics, and I'm like, well, maybe. But some of them I'm like, yes, definitely, and others I'm questioning. But the one thing that she mentions in the book, I just finished chapter 2, but the one thing that she mentioned is not feeling comfortable being paid for what we're worth. And that just hit me because this is me. I I am a licensed teacher, and my specialty is reading disabilities. And I still do have the opportunity to tutor people, mostly children, but it can be adults, to help them with their reading and their spelling. And I did it very, very little because I was uncomfortable being paid. And so, I don't know. It's just something that it reminded, because I brought up self-worth, and then it reminded me of this book that I'm reading, and I'm not sure. I'm just reading the book because I like reading books, and it gives me ideas and information, and then I can understand, I have more ideas of how I feel about certain things. Like, I'm not sure how I feel about the whole idea of empaths, but I do know that I'm highly sensitive. I'm very sensitive. One of the other things is that not being able to like watch sad movies, read sad books, even like commercials, like things like that, like really, really, really bother me. Like a lot more than the people I'm around usually, and usually people don't understand why I'm so affected by it, and it's just part of who I am. So she mentions that too, and it's like, okay, well that makes sense. So anyway, but those feelings of being different can somehow make me feel isolated and not as worthy. So it's silly, it's nonsensical, because we all have unique characteristics, and those characteristics just make us unique and make life interesting. And we all are unique, and we all belong, and we're all worthy, and that includes me, and that includes you. So that's for me. That's what keeps me from isolating, is just realizing that I'm worthy of speaking and feeling the way I am. I If I have something to say, it's just as worthy as or valid as something else that somebody else says, and so that's how I feel about that. All right, I'm going to take a minute and look this over. There are no markings on this page. That's beautiful. This passage is about it's about two things. It's about accepting ourselves as we are, and also about not taking things to the extreme. This passage is about a person who recognized that they were a caretaker, and uh, when they let it get to an extreme, it was destructive, but they realized that it can be a valued characteristic that can enhance their life when it's balanced. This person has learned to no longer do for others what they can do for themselves, and nurturing, this person realizes they need to nurture themselves as well as others, and Al-Anon helps them with that balance. Today's reminder that it's not productive to condemn parts of ourselves. When we recognize that we are made up of many different characteristics, we can love ourselves just as we are. And the quote is from Mahatma Gandhi. And it says that all of our characteristics, even the ones that we may think are negative, are really blessings from our higher power. Love that. I love that. So it's funny, that's just kind of what I was saying, is that, the being sensitive piece. The being sensitive piece can be challenging because things bother me that don't bother other people. And sometimes, like, I think it seems to me that I feel things stronger, certain things, than other people. But at the same time, I'm also very caring and very compassionate, because I can usually put myself in other people's shoes, and if I feel that they're in some kind of distress and there's something that I can do to help, then I try to do that, as long as it's not detrimental to me. So just trying to work with it. And it's funny, because I'm thinking of this, and I'm thinking about how my work in Al-Anon has made me focus so much on myself and focus on doing things that work for me, and how the changes that took place in me, I think, were definitely noticed by people around me, and they may have been surprised because I allowed myself to focus on myself and take care of myself and do less for other people, worry less about what other people think. And it's all such a beautiful progression. We'll close out with the serenity prayer and 3 mindful breaths. Here we go. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Thank you so much for joining me today. I look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Sending you love. Take care.